You want to grab a drink?
It's 10 in the morning.
Late breakfast, early lunch, you know.
Are you okay?
No. Thank you for asking.
Some movies flop at the box office and disappear forever, but not these. Number 5 on this list barely made a dent in theaters, but is now considered one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time. And number 9 is a classic that found its audience decades later. You won't believe how much of a turnaround these flops had. Scarlett Johansson's star power couldn't save Under the Skin from box office failure, but that's part of what makes it a hidden gem. She plays an alien luring men into a mysterious black void that slowly consumes them. With stark visuals and a haunting score from Micah Levi, this is sci-fi at its weirdest and boldest. Director Jonathan Glazer recently got an Oscar nod for Zone of Interest, but Under the Skin still flies under the radar, waiting for more fans to find it. Its slow, dialogue-light pace isn't for everyone, but those unforgettable scenes in the Black Void make it a must-see for the brave. Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka is iconic today, but Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory wasn't an instant success. Behind-the-scenes drama, including Roald Dahl getting booted from the project, led to a movie that barely made back its budget. It found its real audience later, thanks to TV reruns, where Wilder's quirky take on Wonka became a cult favorite. Tim Burton's 2005 remake had to work hard to win over fans of this offbeat original, which still stands as the definitive take on the Candyman. John Carpenter's The Thing was ripped apart by critics when it first came out, but its groundbreaking effects kept it from fading into obscurity. Over time, this sci-fi horror flick became a cult classic, influencing everything from creature features to psychological thrillers. Its gore might grab your attention, but it's the slow-burn paranoia and the dread-filled ending that sticks with you. Carpenter's tale of alien terror is now considered one of the all-time greats.
We got back inside and blew the generator. 6 hours, it'll be 100 below in here. Well, that's suicide! Not for that thing. It wants to freeze now. It's got no way out of here. It just wants to go to sleep in the cold until the rescue team finds it. What can we do? What can we do? Whether we make it or not, we can't let the thing freeze again. Maybe we'll just warm things up a little around here.
The Shashank Redemption was a box office flop in its original run, drowned out by the likes of Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump. Despite being nominated for 7 Oscars, it didn't find its footing until after the awards' season buzz. One mistake? Columbia Pictures avoided using Stephen King's name in the marketing, missing out on his loyal fans. Now, Shawshank is widely regarded as one of the best King adaptations, even though it doesn't fit neatly into the horror genre he's known for. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner didn't crush the box office like Alien or Gladiator, but it's since become a sci-fi benchmark. Its futuristic visuals and deep dive into artificial intelligence have influenced the genre for decades. The script is packed with memorable lines, but Rutger Hauer's final monologue is the real standout. While it wasn't a financial hit, Blade Runner is now essential viewing for any sci-fi fan worth their salt, proving that not all classics start with big numbers. After the success of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, Edgar Wright was given a much bigger budget and a lot of freedom for his next project. Scott Pilgrim took Wright's love of comic books and video games and cranked it up to 11. It may have been a hit with critics, but mainstream audiences weren't ready for the wild mix of quirky style, creative action, and offbeat humor. The movie didn't break even, but over time it built a passionate cult following, enough to reunite the cast for the 2023 animated adaptation, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Sometimes all it takes is time to appreciate the weird.
What kind of tea do you want?
There's more than one kind?
We have blueberry, raspberry, ginseng, sleepy time, green tea with lemon and honey, liver disaster, ginger with honey, ginger without honey, vanilla almond, white truffle, blueberry chamomile, vanilla walnut, constant comment, and Earl Grey.
David Fincher's Zodiac isn't a typical mystery thriller, and that's exactly why it failed to hit the mainstream. Marketed like a slasher film, it's really about the obsessive search for the Zodiac killer, with no neat resolution. Fincher masterfully captures the frustration of an unsolved case, and while that might not satisfy the typical mystery lover, it's what gives Zodiac its haunting power. Box office returns weren't great, but the film's slow burn tension has earned it a devoted following over the years.
Well, what was that, Sam?
I did not say anything.
We heard a scream.
That was my headache.
You sound like you're in a great deal of pain.
My head aches. I'm so sick. Oh, I'm gonna kill them.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wes Anderson's movies are steady moneymakers. Aside from the enormous success of the Grand Budapest Hotel, his movies mostly deliver a healthy but unspectacular return on investment. This is not the case for the Life Aquatic, which failed to break even. It didn't help that the film's $50 million budget was far higher than most of Anderson's other films. It's a melancholy ride that set the stage for future Anderson gems like Fantastic Mr. Fox and Moonrise Kingdom. Critics were lukewarm at first, but time has revealed the Life Aquatic as one of Anderson's signature films.
Neto, can you hear me? We'll get you back, Billy. Is everybody else safe? Anne-Marie, you okay, honey?
No, I'm not. I told you these were unprotected waters.
Before Brad Bird struck gold with Pixar, he gave us The Iron Giant, a beautifully animated tale of friendship set against Cold War paranoia. The film cost $50 million to make, but it made just over half of that at the box office. But over time, it found its audience through TV syndication and home video, becoming an animation classic. With its universal themes of loyalty and standing up for what's right, The Iron Giant has proven itself to be more than just a forgotten 2D relic. Clue might not have nailed it in theaters, but its multi-ending gimmick has made it a cult classic over time. Based on the famous board game, Clue had a different ending in each theater, which turned audiences off. But once it hit home video with all three endings included, people finally saw the brilliance. With Tim Curry leading the chaos as a manic butler, the film's quirky charm and clever twists have made it a must-watch for fans of both whodunits and slapstick comedy.
Hey, come on. There is only one admitted killer here, and it is certainly not me. It is her.
I've admitted nothing.
Well, you paid the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's?
Yours.
5.
5.
Yes, just the 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
You lure men to their deaths like a spider with flies.
Flies are where men are most vulnerable.
Right.